Welcome. Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Splitgerber. I am the Anatomical Donor Program Director. And on behalf of Vanderbilt University School of Medicine, I want to welcome you to this year's Anatomical Donor Program Memorial Service. It's nice to see so many family and friends in the audience. We have a full packed house. I'm very pleased about that. Students, good to see you as well. We are also live streaming, just so you know, so all of those that couldn't be with us in person could also view this from their home as well. I want to thank you all for being here today, and not only just for today, but also for making last year possible. Not only did your loved ones give a tremendous sacrifice by volunteering to be part of this donor program, we know that you did as well. I know that this last year couldn't have been easy for everyone, so thank you. Thank you for your patience as your loved ones spent the last year with us, with our students, with these future physicians, teaching them about the foundations of medicine. I know when you're thinking about foundations of medicine, you're thinking academic, sciences, and that's part of it, true. But it's also about the other aspects, about the humanity that underlies medicine. If you think about it, up until last year, these students mostly did all their learning from books and videos, probably TikToks, maybe from a professor. But last year they got a new teacher, and it was different. When they met your donors, they met a person, someone that lived a long life, someone that had a full life of experiences, someone that has family and friends waiting on them to come home. And I think our students understood that these loved ones, their donors, are under their care for the next year until they can come home. And I think our students understand that is what medicine is all about. It's about the loving and protecting and taking care of others, especially when they can't take care of themselves. And it was your loved ones from day one that bestowed this understanding to our students, an understanding that they will carry throughout their entire careers. So we're very grateful for your loved ones, and we're very grateful for you for making that last year possible. And for that, please enjoy this memorial service, a time of reflection and also a time of thank you for allowing this to happen. And so we will have our students give and express their appreciation for this gift. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is August Kim and I am the president of the second year class. I'd like to thank Dr. Splitgerber for his warm words and also for his guidance as our professor this past year. On this day and in this place, we are here to remember and celebrate everyone who gave us the greatest gift as we set out on this path to become physicians. The study of the human body has spanned millennia, the field of anatomy being the very start of when humankind began to think and imagine in the realm of science. But what medicine has begun to realize in modern times is that science alone is not enough to build medicine as a craft. As so many of our instructors have told us this year, medicine is an art. It's an acknowledgement that a human being is so much more than the science that can be broken down to its very cells. It is every piece of what makes a human being a person. What makes up their life? What do they love to do? What have they seen and sought out? What do they hope for? Who do they love? Asking these questions in past tense is hard, but learning alongside our donors gave us this gift of realization. We became reflective as we learned what the human body is like to the very core. These lessons in anatomy didn't just teach us the academics of our courses, but made us so aware that there is more to this than the science of it all. Who was this person? How did they move through this life? What did they hope for? Who did they love? Medicine is a field that is in constant forward momentum. But this process must remain humble and human with pauses to see where we are and how far we've come. This past week has been days filled with seminars and lectures about the start of our second year, a launch week of sorts into the hospital as we begin our clinical responsibilities for the very first time. But it is entirely fitting and so right that one of the final things that we do before entering this whole new world is to take a moment to remember our very first patients. None of us will ever forget the growth and learning we experienced with each of our donors, an indescribable gift that we will all carry with us for the rest of our lives. But the greatest lesson that I hope we all remember is that every patient we meet in our careers is more than just a question to answer or a problem to solve. Each person is a human being with hopes and loves and loved ones who have walked this earth with them. We honor medicine and we honor our best selves as future physicians by remembering the wholeness of everyone we care for. To all the families and loved ones in attendance, I know I speak for my entire class when I say thank you. Thank you for being a part of this journey and allowing us to become better versions of ourselves. And thank you for being the reasons why our very first patients were as human and whole as we know them to be. And to our donors, we share the deepest gratitude not only for everything we were able to learn alongside you, but for everything we were able to learn about ourselves and the doctors we hope to become one day. May you all rest in peace.
Good afternoon. My name is Casey Skinner. Like August, I am a second-year Vanderbilt medical student, and it's such an honor to be able to speak with you all today as we celebrate the lives of the unique, fiercely loved human beings who donated their bodies to Vanderbilt's anatomy program this year. It's a really powerful and sacred thing for all of us to be in this space together today, all of us who are connected to these donors in so many ways. And so I hope that we can just take a moment to appreciate all of these people and all of these connections here today. I like to think that our donors, who are the kind of people who gave of their very bodies for the sake of knowledge and humanity, would be really proud to see this scene in this packed house today. I want to share with you a line that kept popping into my head as our year wound down last year, and I began to reflect on the gravity and the sacredness of the experience of first year anatomy lab. E. Cummings wrote a really beautiful poem that begins, "I carry your heart with me, I carry it in my heart." That poem is a great love poem in a traditional sense, but it also encapsulates what it means to encounter someone who leaves us forever changed. Dear friends and families of the donors here with us today, you all know what it is to carry them in your hearts. But we as a class want you to know that we carry a little bit of their hearts in ours too. We didn't get to know them in life like you did, never got to sit down with them and hear their stories or feel the warmth of their smiles. But we did get to spend countless hours with them, allowed into the innermost secrets of their bodies. They bore witness to our learning and to our growth in the earliest days of our nascent careers, as we started to wrestle with the questions of how life and death will show up in our practice. They showed us about the miraculous persistence of human life, even in the face of illness and anatomic variation. They were, with apologies to our wonderful anatomy faculty, our most irreplaceable and valuable teachers of the past year. And because of that, when we set our first broken wrist in the ER this year, it will be our donors' hands, which once wiped grandchildren's tears and squeezed the hands of loved ones, that we will picture. It will be their eyes, which witnessed lives and stories that we as students can only guess at, that we think of when we learn to fix a patient's nearsightedness. And of course, it will be their hearts, which knew both the profound joy and the profound grief of a long life that we picture as we learn to care for the hearts of others in the operating rooms and on the wards. In this way, we as a class will carry the legacies of these donors in our hearts throughout our careers, where they will be joined by memories and interactions with so many other patients who will change our hearts for the better if we let them. And we will honor the priceless gift that our donors gave us and the humanity that they taught us with every patient we treat, every life that we heal. And so as our class finishes this week and prepares to go forth into the wards and clinics, it is, as August said, with a sense of utmost gratitude for our anatomy faculty who taught us that deep respect and joyful learning can coexist in the lab, for you all, the loved ones of the donors, who loved them and shaped them into the kind of people who would freely give this most precious gift of the learning for others. You all played a huge part in why we're here today. And most of all, we have the utmost gratitude for our donors, our very first patients, the very first people to truly change us on this journey into medicine. And so to them we say goodbye, rest well, and thank you for allowing us to carry your hearts in ours.
Good afternoon. My name is Ian Cullen. I am the staff chaplain at Vanderbilt Medical Center for Palliative Care. Today, along with my colleague, the Reverend Sherry Perry, who is staff chaplain for the medical ICU and bereavement committee co-chair, we have the honor of saying your loved ones' names. Today, they're divided up into 4 groups. And as you hear it, I invite you to hear their laugh and their hobbies, their hopes, their fears, and all those things that our students were able to carry with them in their own hearts this past year, that you have carried for a lifetime. Today, I thank you for the gift of knowing their names and imagining their stories. May the gift of their life and all they have taught you and our students bless you with courage and healing. Mary C. Levi, Sandra Gail Buckner, Chrissy T. Leonard, Sally Rhodes Honor, Heber C. Rogers, Joseph Gregory Folensby, Faye C. Smith, Samuel Wilson Hurt, Hetty Leona Watson, Edith Bowen Bierman, John Morgan Kemp, Walter Eugene Lewis, Myra Jane Curry, Mitchell A. Hayes, Michael R. Stanley, Catherine L. Ayers, Joanne Denman Akers, Gary Cray Darnell, Patricia Ann Newton, Stella Francis Studdard, Kathleen Volts, Barbara J. Jones, Ann Hazelhurst Garrard, David Bruce Andrzejewski, Herschel Sanders, Catherine Ethel Skidmore, Drusella Jane Harrison, Mary Jane Pennington, Helen Bodiford, Walter Kem Foster, Arthur James Neal, Gilbert Wells Thibodeau, Marion Estelle Bayless, Gary Brian Leverett, Jane M. Wilson, Dan M. Church, Lawrence James Nee, Don W. Shockley, Alan Eugene Emerson, Joyce Y. von Allman, Benjamin Cave Bearden, Catherine B. Laughlin, William Tudor Apmatic, Merle Keitlinger, Mary Bird Douglas King, Michael Stewart Priest, Charles B. Wright, Charles R. Scott, Lynette Carey Smith McRee, and Julie Lynn Parrish Fast.
It is with great honor I continue our recognition of our donors. Diane Gwen Phillips, Michael F. Stiltz, Sandra J. Schlitt, Brenda Watterson, Thomas Ed McGee, Polly Bobber Bassoni, Carol Herlock Chamberlain, Larry Dotson Lever, Sue C. Haley, Nolan G. Kelly, Ruth C. McCabe, Marjorie Waveline Sarsfield, James David Swope, Francis Donatelli, Anne Hazelhurst Gerard, Dr. Blanche Eloise Glimpse, Robert W. Gillespie, James Robert Watterson, David Arthur Kearley, Ollie B. Thompson, Charles Ward Henderson, Edward H. Schneider, Marcia Crothers Corley, Anne O. Carr, George Michael Niederhauser, Joseph Edward Waddell, Geneva Janice Agee, Dr. Robert Yunbach O, Julia Weber Gildenmeister, William Earl Davis, Sandra L. Sullivan, George F. Hartz, Elizabeth Ann Taylor, Douglas Wayne Huff, Carolyn C. Sanders, David Charles Ray, Virginia Ann Steen, Robert W. Fritz, Jean C. Blako, Carolyn Genevieve Payne, Catherine Elizabeth Babcock, Robert E. Bruner, Margaret Louise Godfrey, Margie Leanne Griggs, Dennis Downey Day, Daniel Allen Tinsley, Dudley Fowler Mays, Frances Paulette Kierstead, Martha Jean Irvin, Suzanne Dunavant Ripsky.
Hi everyone, my name is Lily Campbell Lewis, and today I'm going to be performing an original song. It's called All Good Things Must End. It's been a while since I've seen you, my friend. I've done an awful lot of growing up since then. I walked into your house, a wide-eyed kid, till you showed me what it means to live. In your eyes I see every friendly face who's given me a smile and a little bit of grace. I thank God I figured out how not to waste a minute of my time with you. I heard it said, all good things must end. So I'd like to take a moment to say thanks for being a friend. Oh, I love you now, just as I loved you then. But we both know this was a good thing, and all good things must end. You took my hand, led me down a path. You knew it wasn't easy, you knew it wasn't fast, and yet you gave me patience far enough to last. Through every mistake I had made in the past, every early morning, every burning question, every hour I spent trying to learn your lessons. At first it wasn't clear to me, but looking back I finally see the forest for the trees. I heard it said, all good things must end. So I'd like to take a moment to say thanks for being a friend. Oh, I love you now, just as I loved you then. But we both know this was a good thing, and all good things must end. I don't wanna say goodbye, wish I could turn back time just to know that I could get 1 minute more, just to be sure I can survive. But I'll try, oh I'll try, 'cause I heard it said, all good things must end. So I'd like to take a moment to say thanks for being a friend. Oh, I love you now, just as I loved you then. We both know this was a good thing, and all good things must end.
We'll continue recognizing your loved ones. Rebecca Louise Walker, Thomas Michael Heine, Rose Ethel Vandergriff Harvey, Karen Hankey Weeks, Peggy Bailey Cartwright, Dorothy Marie Rahm, Gwyneth P. Huey, Joseph Eugene Paul, Charles Luther Bryson, Lynette Gail Schultz Wise, John McNary Baker, Glenna Marie Neiman Carpenter, Shirley Schuffman, Hope Cheryl Coven, Charles Dwight Light, Ellen Henderson Seeley, Dorothy A. Mulkey, Grapple Lou Rushing, Mary Sue Todd, Euleen Johnson, Betty June Warren, Anthony Romaine Fisher, Michael Edward Cohen, Edgar C. Hulse, Lemuel Morris Tipton Reed, Deborah K. Strauss, William R. Doherty, Barbara Ann Harrell, Rondell Key Andrews, Bobby Wayne Coble, Linda Jean Lucas, James Don Stanton, Jerry Clyde Whitney, Stephanie Ann Seagraves, Jesse Van Volkenberg, Norma Jean Kofer Witherspoon, Kenneth D. Cox, John White Cook, James Paul Russo, Betty Walker Newman, Mary Ann Pangle, William Alvin Greer, Robert Edmund Parker, Velma Lee Russ, Thomas Pagano, Linda Sue Racy, Damaris Nelson Davenport, Jeanette Lois Brock, Victor R. Kane, Mildred H. Murphy.
We continue honoring your loved ones through the reading of their names. Donald M. DeWitt, Jenny Lou Horn, Perry Levi Castile, Helen R. Clark, Robert Everett Sutterth, George F. Gray, James Robert McCasland, David Jonathan Leavenworth, Ronald Wayne Scherer, Lillian Agnes Dellinger Gardner, Margaret Prindeville Bowers, Woodrow W. Richardson, Penelope E. Spears, Betty H. Shepard, Harry Lester Hogden, Martha C. Robertson, Robert Eddie Ross, David Miles Farley, Carol John Kusira, Tammy Lee Cole, Patricia Ann Parnell Martin, Helen Phillips Lamance, Karen Lee Sims, Linda Faye Haas, Alfred Pilati, David Larry Atkins, Melissa Robin Lacey, Marilyn Holcomb Evans, Blas Anthony Ortiz Diaz, David Ray Bryson, George Richard Burdick, Janice R. Wynn, Robert Gwynn Nolan, Betty Sellers Parrish, Connie Renee Carpel, Frank Branco Bojic, Robert Bond Miller, Patty Ann Wood Shahan, Mary Elena Gracer Payton, Johnny L. Randall, Kay Courig Gunther, Marshall Edward Durham, Charles Andrew Nelson, Charles Eugene Cunningham, Bernadine Gale Walt, Ruth Ann Odom, Dr. Robert L. Heminger, Jamie Davis Lloyd.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emma Fritsch. I am also a second-year medical student at Vanderbilt. And today I'm going to be reading a poem called An Everlasting Gift by a medical student named Ben Rosenstein. It really spoke to me about my experience this past year in the anatomy lab, and I'd like to use it to thank all of the donors I never truly got to thank and their families and friends here today. I wake up in the morning and look in the mirror. And no longer do I see only myself, rather you. You are there too, by my side, now a reflection of what's inside. This hand you see, it's no longer just a part of me, but also a part of you. Every day I look at it and I see my fingers, but yours are the muscles, the tendons, the nerves. When I stare in the mirror, I can only imagine my heart. But I see yours. The gift you gave me at the start is a memory of you, a teaching given to so few. It's strange how we met, you and I, for in order for us to meet, you had to die. but in your death, you gave so much, not only to me, but so many others you'll touch. You taught me first, this is true, but it is within me now that I carry you. And through your memory, I shall take you so far, to wards and rooms and patients many. I shall teach them of their hearts, their bones, their muscles, tendons, and nerves. But as I do, I will see you, as it is your heart, your bones, your nerves that I'll remember as I teach and we see patients together. And one day, we'll teach so many patients, I will teach other young doctors, students like me. I will teach what I remember. I remember you, your heart, your gift. And they will teach others, and they will teach patients, and our patients will teach their families, and our students one day will teach other students. And so you see, and dear families here, I say this I say so sincere. Your one gift will help countless others. Your gift is well beyond me. Your gift is to the entire community. That is my entrusted reward, my privilege to carry you on. That is my responsibility. Know this, dear you, ever shall I remember that January to December, you shall remain ever in my memory. In the mirror, you shall remain beside me. So now and forever, and for generations to be, you shall always be within others and me, living.
As part of our benediction today, I will share with you some words that I find to be very meaningful from anthropologist and poet Margaret Mead. It's called Remember Me. To the living, I am gone. To the sorrowful, I will never return. To the angry, I was cheated. But to the happy, I am at peace. And to the faithful, I have never left. I cannot be seen, but I can be heard. So as you stand upon a shore gazing at a beautiful sea, remember me. As you look in awe at a mighty forest and its grand majesty, remember me. As you look upon a flower and admire its simplicity, remember me. Remember me in your heart, your thoughts, your memories of the times we loved, the times we cried, the times we fought, the times we laughed. For if you always think of me, I will never be gone. Dear students, future physicians, families, beloved, your loved ones gave themselves that they might bring knowledge and wisdom to our next generation of physicians, to our students, so that they may carry that gift on through life and healing to the many who will come under their care in the days ahead. Through our speaking the names today and each moment forward of those most dear to us, may we honor them. Through their memory that will forever be a part of us, may we honor them. Through their act of giving of themselves, their gift, a blessing to others in innumerable ways, may we honor them. Today, through our expressions of gratitude beyond the confines of words, we honor them. As you hold a flower in your hand today, may you also hold in your heart all the thoughts, all the feelings that endear them to you. For when you do, as Margaret Mead says in her poem, they will never be gone. These words mean make it so. Amen. This concludes our service today. At this time, we want to thank you deeply for coming, all of you. We first invite our families who are able to come forward and take a flower from the basket, as you have seen us do, and place in the wreath. We want you to be mindful that there are stairs here. If you need some assistance, we are here to help you get that flower in that wreath, so don't let that keep you from coming up. After you've placed the flower, you're free to go. Kevin will call you by rows to come forward. For our students, now, if there are remaining flowers after the families have gone through, you're invited to also place a flower in the memorial wreath. Then later this afternoon, the wreath will be placed at the Vanderbilt University Community Garden, located within Woodlawn Cemetery, where donor ashes were interned earlier this week. Again, we thank you for being here with us today.